Okay, welcome back everybody to Coffee and Art in the Impromptu Friday. In this segment, the third one for the day, we're going to do a little bit of coloring in Tenderful Enchantments by Klara Markova. And we have done a couple pages in here already, 2 or 3. Let me flip through to the ones we finished. This one I still have to do the bubbles in the background. There's that one. And this one, and there's a video on this one, and it's been posted. And then the cover or the intro page here, this one's done. And put my name in there, colored by, so that one's done. And today we're going to work on the fruit bat. So Ann Siggers has already done the fruit bat. So I said I wasn't going to color the fruit bat till Ann did because her girls are called fruit bats. So now I'm going to color the fruit bat for because we're getting toward the end of October. And so I'm going to do this for as one of the Halloween fall. I mean, we still have fall next month, but it seems like we're going to probably go into more leaves and things like that in November. So pumpkins always, you think of October. I do have a piece of cardstock behind it to help protect it from any indentations, and also because I'm going to watercolor the base. I usually in this book, I'm trying in all these types of books. Y'all know the different ones like this. I don't remember the names of them right off. I try not to do solid backgrounds, although this one page, this one, we did watercolor the whole background because I felt like they were in the water. So I wanted to do it all blue, right? But I'm not sure what I want to do, if I want to do the background black with the stars, because that's what it looks like it has. But if I do that, I'll want to do that in acrylic paint. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and do the watercoloring part. Okay, and I'll zoom in here closer when I start using pencil. I want to do the watercolor, and then I'll probably paint the background black acrylic because it'll be a flat black matte acrylic, and then I can do all the stars, the moon, and all that because it's kind of night. It's a bat, right? Yes, Suzanne, it is. Okay, so I'm going to start with the bat, and I'm going to probably start with gray. Now, what I've done is I got my Jane Davenport watercolors here. I've got the 3 sets. So I bought 2 of them, and then Tracy bought me 1 set, the new set here. It hasn't come out in Michael's. Oh, let me show you well, I can't because I've already, maybe. I've already sprayed them. This is the brights. This one is see, I got to be careful not to get it on the book. Here, let me go over here. This one is the neutrals, and it's in the gold. And then this one is the new set, and it's called, what's it called again? Glitz C. And it's in and I have one of the little Jane Davenport little ladybugs stuck on there. But this one is the new one that Michael's is supposed to be getting her new stuff in. Michael's hasn't got. I think someone said it was delayed because the stuff coming in from overseas was delayed because of all the hurricanes and the supply shipments and all that. All right, so I'm going to start with the bat, and I think I'm going to do him in indigo. I have a test sheet in here somewhere too. Here, I have a little piece of paper just to test colors on. So I think what I'm going to do is the bat in indigo blue, which is which set is it in? Is it in? No, that's not it. It's not the blueberry. It's not raven. Hang on. Which one? What color am I thinking of? Am I thinking of ink? Yeah, ink. Okay, I need my watercolor. Let me get a little bit of water. Hang on, guys. This is just acrylic. I use coffee lids for my paint palettes. This is all dried up. So I'm just going to spray some water in here just to have some water to wet my brush. And I've already wet down the paints. And then, of course, if I want to clean my brush, I got a big bucket of water over here to clean it in. But I just want something to have some water handy. Okay, so ink. It's like an indigo color. Can y'all see that right there? I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. You won't be able to see the whole thing at once, but I think it's a little, maybe that close for now. That looks pretty good. All right, so I'm going to just start with the base. Now, his little tummy I'll probably leave white, but everything else I'm just going to put a wash of indigo on here. Let me move it on this side, so I'm working on it on this side. And what I'm going to do is this will be my base, and then I will go in with color pencil to shade. And everybody's going to use your polychromo, so I'll be using the polys, I'm sure. I've used Prismacolor for decades, so I'm real used to those. But I'm trying to get used to polys. There's an indigo in the koi watercolor set. Yeah, I gave my koi set some time ago to Cam, but I have the Gansai Tambi set. And I think it has an indigo in it too. Now you just got to be careful. This paper's cardstock weight, so it's it's a little better working with water soluble stuff. So it's not going to go through. It's not going to go through, but you want to make sure you don't over wet it. It's the water that makes things go through, not the paint. So you just got to be careful. If you want to get things darker or more layers, then what you want to do is dry it with your heat gun, and then add another layer. So I'm kind of getting the top of his head a little darker, and the inside of his ear there, and then just kind of watering it down on the rest of his face. Like that. Is there okay, yeah, same question. Okay. And these paints are very pigmented. And I can still see the line work, the line art, so I can still see the shade and do other things. But you don't want to cover up all the lines where you can't see what the art is to color. So just kind of be careful when you do the dark colors. All right, so what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to get the little chest and arms, but I'm going to just feather that down because I want the chest to almost be like kind of white. So I'm going to get the dark on the arms here and kind of just clean my brush out a little bit and just get a tiny bit and feather it down. Got a little too much water there. Hope y'all can see. Can y'all see? I mean, I kind of want y'all to get the overall view, and then when I go to shade with pencil, then I will zoom in. Well, the hardest part for me to get used to on the polys that so far for me is you have to layer them. You don't blend them. I'm used to blending with the Prismas, and with the polys you just layer. That I can tell. They don't really blend. They don't blend like Prisma. Not the same anyway. Okay, so now I want to get darker down here on the little legs. And to get darker and lighter here, I'm just using less or more water. So I'm just going to get the little bat. He's going to be indigo. And I don't know if I paint black around it with acrylic paint, then I can like put a glow around him, you know. I'm thinking, okay, so I'm going to take just almost, no water in the brush and keep the little bones or vein, whatever these part are, the cartilage on the bat, really dark. And I'm just chilling now. I did a whole bunch of stuff this morning, used up a lot of energy. So this is kind of good for me to chill and just color for a while. And then later I'll finish my Inktober. I've already got the kanji done. I just have to do the symbol behind it. I think I want a little bit darker around the white fur. Something like that. I just use the Prisma blending pencil. See, and that's the other thing. I don't like the blending pencil, but I do want to try. Now you can't do it in a color book that's like one double-sided. The blending markers, I have one here to play with, and I also have some of the different, what do you call it, odorless thinner to use with the polys. But it can't do it in a color book that's two-sided because it'll go through those blending markers and oily stuff. But because the polys are oil-based, I want to go ahead and try it for you guys. I'm just not one to use blender stuff. Liquids, oils, blender pencils, I just don't use them, I've always just blended with pencil with my Prismacolor. But they're wax based. So the polys are oil based, so they should work well with your, odorless paint thinners and stuff like that. So we'll probably play with, not in the book, because it'll go through. All right, so there's that. Now I'm just pulling right here off of this. I'm going to go ahead and squirt it over here. Let's wet it down a little more. And then I have my little tray of water right here. Add a little more water. And I'm just going to kind of water down. I probably need to clean me off a little spot here. And I want to water down and do this very thin. Just like, see how thin that is? Light, I should say. Like that. The bat wings. I've tried everything but the blending markers. The spirits do well, but I really like the pencil. Okay. I'm going to do the little fruit bat. Uh-oh, too dark. Not enough water. I want to try using spirits with Crayola crayons. Just regular yeah, but they're wax. Will that melt the wax? Do you think? Do you think it will work, Suzanne? Will it melt the wax? I don't know. Let me know if you do a test. Oop, not enough water. Whoops, not enough water. I need more water on my tray. That's what it is. There we go. Got to be careful to oversaturate even on cardstock in a book if you don't want to go through. Okay. So there's a little base coat for the bat. And I'll get this blended out here. You've seen people do it with the crayons? Uh-oh, I dropped my brush. Where'd it go? Here it is. You have, Suzanne? Oh. On YouTube? Okay. Awesome. I'm not, well, I haven't looked for it either, but, you know. But cool. I don't think I have time for another technique at this time in my life. I have 4 projects to finish this weekend. No joke. And I'm sitting here streaming for y'all. But I don't mind because I wanted to. I mean, you know, I wanted to stream. It's relaxing. And I'll get everything caught up. Okay, so there's that. So now let's go ahead and do the orange. And I'm going to come over here to this set with the bright orange. And let's wet it down again. I'm going to clean my brush. And actually, I think I'll get a little bigger brush. I had another one here. Yeah, that might be too big. I'll just stick with this one. So I'm going to go ahead and there we go. Get all the pumpkins base coated. Maybe a little darker right around the stem there. And again, if you want to darken it in another layer of watercolor, just dry it first, so you don't oversaturate and pill your paper. Know what I mean, Vern? Yeah, well, I've tried a lot of them, Suzanne, but, you know, I don't have time to try everything, or we would never get anything done. Get a little excess. There we go. A little more water, I think. There we go. And again, I got a piece of paper here behind it. Thanks everybody for hanging out on Friday. Okay. All right. To me, when you base coat things, whether it's with watercolor, marker, acrylic paint, it makes the whole coloring shading process so much faster. Not that you have to go fast or anything, but I just feel like I get more pages done, more progress, I enjoy it more when I base coat things. That's just me. And not everybody likes to have any other paints or markers or anything on their pages. They just like to do just pencil, and that's fine. Don't email me. You're the boss of your color book or color book pages or whatever. I just like the process of painting them and then shading with pencil. The pumpkin color is called Vitamin C, and it's out of the neutral set. I have all 3 sets here. This one's out of the neutral, and it's called Vitamin C. Right there. And I'm just adding a little bit of water and using a little bit of the blank space in here to tap it out. And I'm just doing them all orange. You know, on another page, we did some pumpkins like gourds and did some green, some yellow, some orange, you know. But I'm just base coat. I mean, I'll probably do some, you know, sienna colors and some shading. But I'm just starting out with a flat, you know, pretty flat, a little bit of shading, but maybe hopefully y'all are coloring along or something. And I am going to, again, I said earlier on the other video, it's supposed to rain here in Atlanta tomorrow all day. So depending on how yucky it is at the lake, I want to go down to on Sunday, go down Sunday afternoon. Hopefully it'll dry up some. And do rubbings on that cemetery. That Hubster seems to think it's 1740. And just because I'd like to have it before, if those end up not being there anymore, those gravestones, and I don't know what family they are, anything, but I want to get those rubbed. All right, I think now let me rinse out my brush again, and I'll go to, I think, do I want to use brown? I think I will just go with cocoa, a dark brown rather than a sienna for this, that's too much, for this little bucket of wood. And, you know, it's a little wood bucket. Normally I like wood to have a little bit of red in it, but because I'll probably use sienna color in the pumpkins themselves, I'll just go with brown. And then let's see, let's do the leaves. It would probably be, they probably wouldn't be green. They'd probably be red. Although I think the little stems here, I think I want them an olive color. I don't really know if we have an olive. Let's see in the new set. There's a what is that? Sea mist. This green here, may with a little bit of brown. Or, oh, here's water sprite. Oh yeah, water spirit. Water spirit. Okay, that's an olive right there. There we go. Here. That color. Water spirit. It's a olive green. That's the color I want for the stems. If you have any questions, put them in caps. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks guys for watching there, the recording. It's a live show on Ustream. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and the occasional Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. And there should be a link in my YouTube header. And I think I'm going to do the stems of these leaves, that olive color too, because I might put a little bit of olive and a little bit of red and a little bit of orange in those leaves. In the header of my YouTube channel, there should be a direct link to my Twitter, my Ustream, my blog. Oh, Terry, you came across the first art card I ever sent you. What was it of? I'm going to add a little bit more water here, not over the book, but over here on the side. Going to water that down just a little. I'm trying to kind of let y'all see what I'm doing here color-wise. I like this olive color. Which was the art card of, Terry? I don't remember the first art card I ever sent you. That's another thing I need to do. Y'all should have reminded me of that. Well, I didn't want to get all collaged today, so um, I need to make more art cards. I have a whole bunch of people on the art card list, and the only time I make art cards anymore is here on stream. So I really need to um, make another batch because I usually make 8 or 12 at a time. No, it's not hard to use the pencil on it. Pencil goes over pretty much any, well, so far my Prismacolors have gone over everything. I'm hoping Polychromos goes over everything. I haven't had it not go over watercolor or anything yet. So I'm just getting some little stalks and stems in there with the olive color. Okay. It's looking so cute. Time, space, water. Yeah, but was there any main element, Terry, in it? Sometimes there's like an animal or a building or something. Now these are little going to be, whoops, these are going to be little like, not ladybugs, um, glow bugs. What am I thinking? Oh, I need a nap. Lightning bugs, lightning bugs. These are going to be little lightning bugs, especially if I paint the background black. So I'm going to take this nice bright yellow here, which is called Tresses. It's like the brightest yellow in this set, in the new set. And I'm going to do these little, I guess they're holding little glow balls or something. And I'll put glow around them after I paint the background. Okay, I can't do that till the background's painted. But I'm going to just put a little bit of yellow, like where they're going to be having a glow. That'll glow around them. It's the one with the big hot water at the bottom. Sounds like so many. Oh, Terry. Okay. I don't know if these are rocks or some kind of berries. Here's a couple of ladybugs. So let me go over here to the red. Which red do I want to use? Do I want to use Ariel? Is that Ariel? This red? Or maybe Frolicsome? Maybe those two together is going to... Okay, so the Ariel and the Frolicsome, which is a little more sienna, that one's a little bit more on the burgundies kind of side. So those two together are making a nice red. Those two. So that's what I'm going to use for the ladybugs and for some of the leaves. So there's two ladybugs that I see. And let me add a little bit of water on that so I can get them. It's kind of like orange, like a sienna color, like a sienna and a red. And I'm just kind of mixing them so that it's not too purple, it's not too orange. Those two together are making a nice red. Oh, from 2015, Terry. Okay, so I think I'm going to do my leaves all in red. Let's see. Do I want any other? Maybe a little. I'm going to put a little red, and then I'm going to pick up a little olive and let them run together. And then I have to keep cleaning my brush off here. And go back to the red. Now, again, I got to be careful not to oversaturate the paper, because I don't want it to go through because of the water. So I'm going to just add red, that red I mixed, kind of here and there. So it looks like they're turning. You know what I mean, Vern? So it looks like the leaves are turning from green into the red. And clean my brush. More red. Something like that. Just gives it a little bit more oomph, you know. I've tried to paint orange roses, but I don't make it. What do you try to paint with, Doris? What are you painting with? What medium are you using? When you say you try to paint orange roses, what are you trying to use? Too dark. Let's water that down a little. Get around that little bug. A little more red right along the stem here. Prismacolor. Yeah, I just like doing a base of paint. It just makes it so much, and I hate to use the word faster, but kind of. Use so much less pencil too, especially Prismacolor, you know, because they're so soft. You're really whipping through those babies, sharpening them. And if you have a base of anything, marker, watercolor, acrylic, neocolor, whatever, if you have a base of it, you just use far less pencil. Not that that necessarily matters. And I just do not enjoy coloring backgrounds with all pencil. It's just way too time consuming and tedious. I don't enjoy coloring backgrounds with just pencil. Way too time consuming and uses up way too much pencil. I'll go over bits of it with pencil. Like glow or stars or, you know, other things. But, okay. I gotta be careful. We're good. Not going through. And you came across a squeeze and brush red glitter pen. And you never opened and it still works. I don't think I've ever heard of squeeze and brush. I think that's a new one on me, Terry. Squeeze and brush glitter pen. Is it different than the Winka Stella? Oh well, welcome from Sweden, Doris. Your English is fine. No, you're fine. Welcome. Okay. I'm going to go with a little bit brighter green, I think, on these grasses, you know, leaves coming up. I don't want the same olive green. I think what I want to do is take the olive green, clean my brush, and a little bit of maybe this yellow ochre color down here, which is called, I can't read that. What is that color? It's a yellow writing on white paper. Oh, I can't see it. Alchemy? I think it's alchemy. This golden color with a little bit of this green. I think this one might have one of be the shimmery ones. I don't know. But I just want to lighten up that green here, the olive green, so that it's just a little different color than the green in the stems of the pumpkins. Yeah, that's better. Could even use just a little bit more. Kind of a yellowy olive, like not quite ochre, a little greener than ochre, but kind of that. I don't know though, it might need the darker down here. Well, I'll just have to shade around them because it's almost, you know, kind of the same color hue as the pumpkin, but I can see it, so I'll shade around it. Okay. So let's go up because I'm trying to keep it kind of fall colors, you know. I don't really want the grasses green and, you know, I want to try to keep it in the fall colors. It's an Elmer product, Terry. It's 20 years old. Have you mentioned this to Eileen? I bet Eileen has it. What do you bet? So I'm just mixing the alchemy green yellow with the water spirit green to make this kind of yellow green. Hi Leo, welcome back. And then after I get all this done, I think I will do the black background after I get all the washes done here. And then we'll go in and shade with pencil. I don't know what these little things are. These rocks? Are they berries? I think I'll just do them brown as well. I also have to do this rope. Maybe I'll do the rope the same color as these leaves. Or just maybe just the alchemy gold color. It's not really, it's not shiny. I'm just thinking it's a little bit light. I don't want to get it on the fruit bat here. Not that it matters on the background because I'm going to paint the background black acrylic paint. And I might use a gold gel pen for the rings, for the little, well no, I think this little knob needs to be, where's that brown I was using? Here it is. This little knob needs to be wood. But like the little key, these rings, and part of this, I think I'll do that gray blue too. The metal here, like almost kind of like it's kind of a iron, rusty iron color. Where's that blue I was using? Which one was it? Where is it? Ink. Yeah, ink. Here it is. So it'll almost look a little metal-y, something like that. And then the rings, the key, and maybe some other bits might be a gold gel pen or something like that. All right, now I think I'm going to go ahead and do, I think I will do these little berry things, the same ink color, that blue color, just to bring the blue down in here in a couple spots. I like the colors to kind of flow all over the page. It makes it more cohesive. Okay, that's all there is there and there. All right, so now the little bugs, I gotta decide what color I want them. These are, you know, got the little ladybugs, they're red. I think I'm gonna have them orange. They may be pumpkins in disguise. That's what pumpkin seeds are. Pumpkin seeds are really just little fireflies. Okay, so I'm going to do their little wings orange. And again, it really doesn't matter if I go out of line here because I'm going to do the background black. So all the little fireflies. There's a little butterfly there. Okay, I'll do him blue. The ink blue color. Uh-oh. Don't tip that little bit of water over on my book. Let's keep it light. I don't know. This is relaxing for me. I don't know if it's relaxing for you guys. Thanks, Daisy Vicky. All right, let's see. Our little elf guy here. I think I'm going to do his little cap in the olive green. I don't know what color I want him to be, though. Do I want it to be a little green wood elf? I don't know what color I want his skin to be. I think I'll do his shirt, though, red and orange stripes. So I'm going to take that red color. I should just do this part with pencil, really. But I'm just going to put the red down for now until that settles. It kind of dries, or I can hit it with the heat gun. Little red striped shirt. Clean out pencil boxes. Oh, Terry, I want to watch you clean out pencil boxes. I know that sounds so stupid, but I would love to watch you clean out pencil boxes. Seriously. That's why when I do, like, showing all my pencils or markers or collage bits, I like to see that stuff. When, like, Shannon shows all her collage stuff, I love that. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit more blue on these. I don't know if they're berries or what, but. And just with a damp brush, kind of just, whoops, that's not damp, that's wet. It's kind of feather it out a little. Okay, I don't know what color I want him to be yet. I'm not sure if I want him green. Do I want him blue like the fruit bat? He could be a little blue, a blueberry elf. He could be a little blueberry elf. What do y'all think? Oh, please post pictures, Terry. I want to see them. And oh my gosh, I'm loving your outdoor pictures, Terry. Your hikes and your walks. Those are awesome. Sometimes I catch them on Facebook, sometimes I catch them on Twitter. Okay, so now the little bodies of the little fireflies, I want to be, no, they got to be very light. I'm going to leave them white for now because the background's going to be black. I want to see what'll show up. So I'm not going to color their little bodies in yet. But I got to decide what color I want him. It is, Terry. It's lovely there. It's lovely. What do y'all think? Would blue be too much? I don't really want him like a bright green. Like a green elf because it's fall and I'm trying to kind of keep it all in that vibe. I don't really want him orange. I could do him a shade of yellow and I don't know. I think I'll just leave him for now. I won't do him yet. Okay, so now I'm going to move all my watercolors to the side, and again, they're the three sets of Jane Davenport's watercolors. Okay, let me get a little bit of black paint, just black acrylic paint. Ooh, this one looks like almost like a good, this might be a good peel. Let's see. When you get a whole bunch of acrylic paint on a plastic lid, the peels are really pretty. Look at that. Sadly, I think they're great, and some people do things with these. I love the way they look because they're slick. They're perfectly shiny and slick because they've been on the plastic, and they just look so pretty. So you wouldn't think that was that because of all the colored layers. It looks like an iris, doesn't it? I might keep it for something. I don't know. All right, let's let me get out some black acrylic paint. Yeah, I'm thinking, ochre for the skin. I know, Sonia. And hi, by the way. you know? But I don't want him to look like a pumpkin head. He'll look like all the pumpkin heads. I got to be careful. All right, so I'm just going to squeeze out some black paint and get my brush back here. Small brush, because I'm going to be in tiny places. And I do have my cardstock behind. Okay. Now, there are all kinds of little dots. They could be stars. They could, I heard she has a lot of pollen, mushroom pollen floating around her world, but I'm not going to paint around all those. Those little dots and the little star, I'm not going to paint around that. I'll just paint right over it and then put in my own little white dots. Okay? Just saying. I will paint around the moon, but I am not going to paint around all those little dots. And I'll probably put a glow around the moon and a glow probably around the fruit bat. And then we've got to do pencil shading. Oh, that's a little wet there still. I don't want that to go through. Let me hit that with the heat gun. I have a little blob of water there. I don't want it to soak through. You said that before, but you were busy. Oh, okay. Well, good to see you. And I might just leave just the smallest smidgen where the darkest, see that little bit of white line right there? Maybe I'll zoom in a little. But I'm going to put a glow around it. So I just want to make sure I don't lose where his ear is. It needs to be autofocused again. Something. We're a little out of focus or something's going on here. Maybe I need to, no, well, maybe. Maybe that. It's a little better. Okay, let's get crack-a-lack in here. And I try to be needle on the edge, although, because I don't know what I'm going to do on this side, if anything. So I'm going to try not to get the paint on it. It's really just the back of that other one. But so I'll just get as close to the center without actually getting in the center. Because I'm really trying to keep these books, these type of books, you know, the Hannah Carlson, you know, these kind of, and Klara Markova and Hannah Carlson's. I'm trying to keep them fairy tale and light and airy and not a lot of dark. But this is a fruit bat and there's a moon. So it's night. I don't know. I think sometimes, Sonia, that depends on your browser, but I can't tell you what one or what. So, and see, it's real dark right there where the edge of the fruit bat's wing is. But I'm going to go around it with light blue, probably a light blue glow. So as long as I can find the edge of the bat, he'll reappear here shortly. And I'll test my polys on top of the acrylic paint for glow. If it's not a bright enough glow, I'll go with Prisma to make that glow bright. But we'll see what happens, because I'm trying to use the polys as much as I can to get used to them, but I just don't know all that they'll do or won't do yet. So, and there's no water in this black paint. I might have to water down my, clean my brush out, because the brush the paint will kind of crust up in the brush as it dries. So I'll have to clean my brush out and keep the brush a little moist, but there's no water in the paint. It's flat black uh, acrylic craft paint. Same thing when I get down here around his legs. It's pretty dark blue, and I don't want to lose his little leg, so I might leave just a smidgen of white just so I can find his little leg again. uh, okay, my brush is getting crusty, so I'm going to clean it out. The acrylic paint is drying and making the brush thick. So you got to clean your brush out every now and then. Okay, right in here. And this is a tiny angled brush. So I can get a point and a flat on it. No particular brand. I get people ask me what kind of brushes I use, and they're just Craft Smart, Artist Loft. They're the cheapest ones I get. They usually come in a pack of 20 or 30 for $5. Now, I do have nicer brushes from my oil painting days, and I have a few nice watercolor brushes. I do not, but just for all these color books and collage, mixed media, I just use the, I mean, they're decent. They're not like the 500 for $1. They're not quite that bad. But they're like Artist Loft brand or Craft Smart. And you get a whole bunch of, you can buy a whole bag of angles, you can buy a whole bag of rounds or a mixture. Oh, thanks, Button. For $5. And then sometimes at Hobby Lobby you can get a little better brands and get them with the 40% off coupon for a bag o' brushes. So you don't need expensive brushes. Now they don't last forever, granted. They won't last forever with your acrylic paint the way I bang them in the water, cleaning them out and all. But they last plenty fine for, your craft paints. And now I'm going to leave a little bit of light around that little berry down there so he doesn't get lost. And again, I'll put a little pencil on there so that you see it. Trying to get as close to the spine as I can. Let me move my little card down here to the bottom. What time is it? Okay, it's down here. Just going to make sure I get those pork chops in the oven. By probably another hour. Okay. So there's that. And you can't see the little berries much, but I can see them. I left just a tiny bit of white, and I'll put a light blue highlight on it. Oh, thanks, Button. You're working on lunch? Well, it's 2 here. But when Hubster gets home from work, I feed him. And he's an early to bed, early to rise guy. I mean, he's up at 4:30, and I mean, I'm lucky if he'll sleep until 5 on weekends. He's just that way. He's just wide awake 4:30, and he goes jogging every morning. Well, weekends he doesn't every weekend, but he still gets up early, reads a paper. It's a routine around here, people. It's a routine. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's a routine. Okay. Taking my time. This is some tight spots here. You still get the paper. I know. I know he does. He does. He loves having that paper in the morning. I know you can read everything online. You can get it online. He reads no books online. He does not do any all his books are hardbacks. All of them. I mean, I have a Nook and I'll read and Nook and uh what's the other one? Anyway, I have apps for both of them, so I can read books on either one. Kindle. Um and I have a physical Nook, and then the Kindle app on the iPad. Um, and so I'll read the occasional ebook, but I really do enjoy reading uh, the actual book. Now I am going to do some audio books. Hubster has never. I don't think he probably doesn't. I know he knows there's such thing as ebooks, but he wouldn't even. I can't even imagine him even considering reading a book online or on a device. He likes his physical newspaper. I don't really read the newspaper. I watch so much news and keep up with so much, news stuff. But he did cut me out an article which may interest some of y'all. Hang on, let me go get it. It's in the other room. He'll cut me out an article every now and then, but I don't read the newspaper. Gene is doing something there. I don't know, some connected to something. Hang on, let me finish this bit and then I'll show you the article. I no longer watch The Walking Dead when Negan came in. Too much violence for me, and I didn't mind any of the other much. I mean, some of it was a little more violent on some shows than others. But when the whole Glenn thing happened, I stopped watching Walking Dead, and I've not watched it since. That being said, I live like 30 minutes, or yeah, probably about 30 minutes, maybe a little less. Well, one place that they film is like literally 2 miles down the road. But Sonoa and the show where they do a lot of the filming and where Norman Reedus has his restaurant and all that, that's probably about 30 minutes from my house. So, I know all the characters. I know where they film it all. I know where the prison is. I know where Alexandria is. All the places where they film The Walking Dead. And all the characters. I've drawn some. I've done fan art of Glenn and, some of the... But it just got too much for me in season 7, because they're in season 8 now. So I stopped watching it. You don't do the dead, Terry. So I have this article he cut out for me that I'll show y'all here when I get, maybe at the end of this. I'll just wait till the end here because it's like has nothing to do with this. It's like a whole nother rabbit trail. But yeah, cut me out a big old article on the cast and some of their comments. And so anyway, I actually thought I would send it to Tammy. Tammy doesn't come in here much anymore, but she is she's probably the biggest Walking Dead fan I know. And she might like the article. I'll show it to you in a minute. It's just in the Atlanta Journal, Constitution, our, Atlanta paper. So I'm sure you can go online and read it. We're getting there, guys. It just, that's one of the things I like about doing non-edited, real-time live shows. Everybody can see how long things actually take. And even though I do rush through a lot of things just to get as many techniques and things done as possible, you still get an idea of how long things take. And I know there's little antennas on those bugs, and I'll put those in with the white Posca. So I don't mind really kind of painting over the little antennas. Same thing for all those dots in the background. And just paint over it. You're making some labels now, Terry? For all the stuff you're finding as you unpack it? Oh my gosh. I don't really do labels. I like all in my room here, which I'm, happy to have the space to do it. I don't like if I put things away in too many drawers or where I can't see it. I forget it's not that I forget I have it, but it's like out of sight, out of mind. So I like shelves. And I've said this before, different people like different ways of organizing. Some people, if you have things out on shelves, and maybe you could say how you like yours, Terry. If you have your things out on shelves, you see it and you use it. But that bothers some people when they see all their supplies. It like overwhelms them or confuses them as to what to use because there's so many choices out in the open. So I don't know what kind of organized kind of what do you like to do, Terry? Yeah. Are you do you like it hidden away so that you see minimal amount of stuff out? There's no right or wrong way, by the way. If anybody's watching this, say, "Oh, well, oh my gosh, you think?" And no, there's no right or wrong way. It's just your preference. It's your preference. Terry says she loves shells but ran out of them. Yeah, I know this room is all roomed. It's all shelves all the way around. That's why I have no wall space in here, because it's all shelves. I hear you, Terry. Are we still? Are we kind of? Are we still in focus, guys? Did we lose the focus? I don't know. Are we losing focus? Because the light does change in here, but I got my windows open and I don't want to sit in the dark. I could shut everything down and just, have I have daylight bulbs. I have those daylight bulbs that are expensive as all get out. I think they're $10 a bulb, but it does give a nice color. It gives a white light, a blue light, rather than a yellow light. But still, I have my blinds open, and the sun and light changes throughout the day and shifts my light. Shifts my light. At least with labels, I might see some of it. So you're labeling the stuff that you're putting away, Terry, like out of sight. The only thing I ever really labeled was my collage drawers. And then, even because all the stuff was in drawers, I wasn't pulling the stuff out of the drawers to use. So I kind of went back to putting everything in bins again, bins and boxes, all my collage stuff. And I just kind of dig for collage stuff. I mean, who am I kidding? I'm never going to use. There's a little star right there. I'll leave just enough of it to remind me to put a star right there. I'm never going to use all my collage stuff, you know? And I'm going right off the page here because there's a paper there. I mean, no matter how many abandoned books I try to alter, or art cards I try to make, and that's another thing I haven't pulled out lately is my art journals. Just the collage art journal, not the napkin journal, that's a separate one, but my regular, which Reeveleys? The hardback journals. No, not Dina Wakley, Diane Reevely books. I think they're made by Ranger. Those hardback art journals. I haven't pulled those out in ages. Kathy Kaber says, I like stuff close, but in drawers if possible. Stuff I use a lot, like gesso, glue, etc., are on a rack on your desk. Like, oh, you have your what do you call them, Raskog uh, uh, carts, Rask carts, whatever they're called, the IKEA ones for paint and pens. I love those carts. I have no floor room for them. So, yeah, but they are very cool. And Michael sells them for dirt cheap on sale all the time. They're not the cool not lime green, teal green ones and all that I've seen. But they're those, rolly paint carts. They're really cool. I have no room for those carts, but I like them. Bring those journals out on Monday. I've got to do another Society of Idea Collectors segment on Monday, at least, because I'm trying to do them 3 times a month, and I haven't done one for a couple weeks. So I've got to do another Society Idea segment. Although everything that I've shown y'all on the Society of Idea Collectors segments, they're not like, oh, you only do one project and that's it. Mind mapping, for example. You don't just do one mind map and go, okay, I've mind mapped. You can do thousands of them. And every time you do it, it's going to be a different project. Um, you know, Developing stories off of lists that you've made, you never run out of lists, and you're never going to run out of combinations. So all the things that I show you on the Society of Idea Collectors, it's not just one project. It's as many projects as you want to take the time to do. I just want to make sure that people are still interested in it. I mean, I know there's a few. There's probably, a good handful of people that are actually doing the projects and using the ideas that I see. I mean, people are probably doing them and I just don't see it. But, because it does take some time to, develop some new ideas for those projects. And if everybody's kind of just happy with what I've done so far for the Society of Idea Collecting, and other than Mary, Alta, she'll take a new one any day. But, it's like I'm doing a lot of work on those. Terry said those Michael ones are quite a bit smaller too. Oh, they are, Terry? Okay. And yours fit under your desk, Kathy Cabert. Okay. Leah, speaking of Society of Idea Collectors, I remember your request addresses earlier video. Yes, you have to send me, if you want to be in the giveaway, whether you're on YouTube or Ustream, if you want to be in the Society of Idea Collector big bowl that I pull names out of, the only names that go in there are people I have their addresses. Because I don't want to pull someone's name, say randomly on YouTube, that I don't know from, Adam, as they say. They're in the Society of Idea Collectors and I don't know and then I have to go hunt them up. I'm not going to go hunt people up. So if I don't have your address, your name is not in the bowl. I have to have your address for your name to go in the bowl. So if I pull your name and you win a little goodie bag or a little goodie envelope for the Society of Idea Collectors, I can send it right to you. I don't have to fine you. I don't have to tell you. You don't have to be present to win anytime that I do those drawings. You don't have to be here. So, but I want to be able just to put it in the mail to you. You know what I mean? So, yes, you do have to send me your address, Leah. Yes, exactly, Kathy Kberg. The Society of Idea Collectors is a tool. It's a tool. Okay, so there we go. I think I got all the background done. All right, let me clean my brush out. Let me hit this with the heat gun. It's not a one-time idea where you just do that week's project and then you never do that project again. It's an ongoing thing. Collecting ideas is not a one-time thing and then you're just like, oh, I got it all now. It's an ongoing, it's like I said, mind mapping. You don't just do one mind map on one topic and say, oh, okay, well, I've mind mapped now. That's it. Let's give me something new. I might give you mind mapping again with a different structure, . Thank you, Terry. All right, let me hit this with the heat gun. And again, you do not have to you don't have to color the whole thing with watercolor or acrylic. You can just do the background in acrylic. Or you could have just done just the bat with watercolor and color everything else with just pencil. And it does curl just a little, but you can kind of roll it out and flatten it out. And I found that any warping in any books that I've even Bennett Klein, the thinnest ones. If you if you're well, they're all one-sided, but on a two-sided page, you color the all right. Let me give you a better example. Anamorphia, Imagimorphia. They're pretty thin pages. They can warp a little bit because they're thinner than these pages for sure. But by the time you do the other side, there's no warping or anything going on, because doing both sides takes care of any little bit of warping. That being said, if you don't want any warping, you want your pages just as flat as they came, then don't put wet medium in your books. It doesn't bother me. So just saying, you gotta, always test in the back of your color books if you're not sure. I don't know, Doris. If you're not sure, send it to me again. I have hundreds of names. I have 300, maybe, I have probably 400 Society Idea Collector names, and about 200 of them I have their addresses for. I don't remember if I have yours. And I probably have 800 fibs all total, names and addresses that I try to keep up with. That's why this year, guys, this year is the last year I'm sending out birthday cards. If y'all and don't send me and say, oh, I want to be on it this year. We're almost done with this year. If you haven't, if you're not on my birthday card list already, then it's too late, because this is the last year I'm doing birthday cards. Oh, well, send it to me, Doris. I don't know if you're, I know you're new, but I don't know how new. You might have sent me your address. I may have it. But if you want to be in the Society Idea Collectors giveaways, I have to have your address. Okay, now I did notice that I missed a little bit in this chest right there. I'll just do that with pencil. Okay, now we're going to go, and I'm going to move all my watercolors out of the way. Let me get a Kleenex and dry this. I don't want this one. It's got a lot of water in that, and I don't want it to drip. So let's kind of close that up. Okay, so again, here's the 3 sets. I have this one, just like these little ladybugs. Tracy C. Squaw Moon sent me this one, and it's the new one. It has more of the greens and more. Well, you can see the colors right there. This one is the brights, and there's the colors in the brights. And here's the neutrals. And I just love using these as base coats for the color books. It does get to be a full-time job. And there for a while, I've got a little system down, but there for a while I was almost 2 days a week out of my week was Happy Meal. I've got it down to 1 day a week. 1 day a week is Happy Meal. Okay, so now let me move this tray of water here. Let me just dump that out. And just set that aside. Alrighty. I am going to wash my hands now because I do have paint and stuff on them, and I want a clean coloring here. So, and I love doing things and giveaways and things like that for you guys and for YouTube. But I'm only one person. I'm only one person. Okay, so now I'm gonna before I do anything, I'm gonna leave this moon. No, you know what? I almost could use a little bit of yellow in that moon. I think I will go back to my paint for just a minute. Let me go back to that new set here with the yellow. And just put a little of the, I'll make it like a harvest moon. Just a little bit of the yellow ochre. Let me get a little bit of water here. Water it down. And just put, just so it's not, and maybe a little bit of yellow too. Just so it's not pure white. I'll leave it light here and just the tiniest bit of color on the moon. Like that. That's good. And I could put more pencil too, but we'll see. All right. Let me dry that. All right. So now I do not know. I know the white polychromos is not as bright. Oh, wait, let me go over here. The white polychromos is not as bright as my, I'll read this in a minute, Prismacolor. Prismacolor white is, to me, the whitest. Luminance is pretty good, too. But the white poly is not as bright as Prismacolor. But I want white around, or yellow, probably yellow, and yellow around the bugs, and light blue around the bat. Yeah, see, a lot of people like pastel in their background, and it's a beautiful effect, Doris. I don't like the feel of chalk, so I don't use pastels. Now, I might be okay with the pan pastels, which Janet and some other girls have said they're not as that chalky feel. But again, they're very expensive, $5, $6, $7, $8 a tub of one for one color. I've got so many other mediums to use. I just don't need another medium to learn and get used to, that being pan pastel. So, yeah. But I've seen some beautiful pastel backgrounds in color book pages. Absolutely beautiful, if you like the feel of chalk. So, all right, so now let's see. I think I'm going to, what blue, how light of a blue do I want to go? Let's just try, let me see. Yeah, that's not going to be, I'm going to have almost the lightest blue, which might be this one. This is the lightest blue I have in the polys. The lightest blue I have in Prisma, hang on, let me dig. I gotta dig, people. Is probably, if I can find it. It's probably this one, and I have another one, but I don't know. So they're pretty similar. So I'm going to go with this one and kind of put, I'm going on top of the, see, I think I'm going to need white too. So I'm going to put down a little bit of blue glow. And you can't, all right, let's see, let's zoom in. Something like that, maybe. They aren't chalky. Are you talking, Kathy Kaberg, are you talking about the pan pastels? You never have to touch them. Yeah, you apply it with those different sponges. Okay, but let me ask you this. You also have to seal it, don't you? I don't do spray sealers at all. I can't stand them. I can't stand the smell of them. I can't stand the smell of sealers. You know, fixatives. I don't do fixatives. So this news, I want to show y'all this newspaper, but in the meantime, it's in my way. It's everywhere. So, but you have to seal those, or they come off, right? Either rub off or come off on the opposing page. All right, so I'm just kind of testing this. I'm putting it down as lightly as I can. And then I'll probably put white, right, maybe white right up against them. And the poly white's probably white enough for this. Or even light gray, maybe. Maybe light gray. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Okay, so let me go ahead and go all the way around. I need that little bit right there. That's going to have a little bit more dark right there because I missed it with the paint. The pan pastels. Yeah, but now, again, what do you do about, how do you seal yours? Um, Doris and Kathy Kaberg, what do you use to seal your color book pages, if in fact you use them on color book pages? I think Doris does. I don't know about Kathy. Can y'all see how lightly I'm putting this on? I'm just putting like, and I think he's going to have some little hairs sticking up. And I'm trying to get used to the feel and the blend of the polys on the acrylic here. It's a light touch. I mean, if I could even have a lighter touch, then I mean, look how far back I'm holding the pencil. That's how lightly I'm putting down pencil. I mean, it's just, I can barely touch it, and it's doing what I want it to do. And I might even have to get black in there to knock it back some. It's so working so well. Suzanne, so you really want the pan pastels? I want to see what y'all do. Yeah, I don't like hairspray on. Yeah, even back in the day, I don't trust hairspray. And not only that, it can and sprays, sealers, even the nice sealers. I mean, because I've had to fixative things before. You know, art projects. What do you call it? Drawing model, life drawings, and things like that. And I have had the nicest, most expensive ones splatter, spot, drip, and they always smell. The smell never goes away. I would never trust hairspray on a piece of, like a portrait. There's no way I'd ever spray. That's just me. Don't anybody email me. Like working on Jen's little coloring buddy here. You know, I'm working on this portrait here. There's no way I'd ever spray any Aquanet on that. Uh-oh, sorry. Okay, I got to get my autofocus off here. You know what I mean, Vern? That's just me, Suzanne. Don't email me, girl. Girl. You probably should seal them. The pigment is good for. I've gotten used to thin coat that are so creamy that they stick to. So you don't really have it come off? The pan pastels don't come off, Kathy Kayberg? Backgrounds and not sealed them. Okay. All right. I'd be afraid that they'd come off on the opposing page or smear, right? But the pan pastels are a little bit different animal for sure. So right now I'm just kind of getting, around him. And then I'm going to go in with the light gray close. And then out here on the edges, I might have to go back in and blend some of this black with black. We'll see. And I really kind of want yellow glow around them. So let me be careful about that. Let's just go kind of a little bit around the back. Not too much, just a little bit. But I know Janet loves the pan pastels. Well, she's worked with them quite, more than me. I'm not, I find they don't come off with thin layers. I don't know if I could do thin layers in a color book, though. I mean, if you want a certain color and it's not rich enough and you got to keep adding more dot. Okay, Hubster's calling me again. Hang on. Let me go answer it. I need coffee anyway, so I'll be right back. Hey, what's going on? Hello? Okay. I need a hot coffee anyway. I got a handful of peanuts, so. Let's go back to the pan pastel chat. You use them with other stuff, Kathy? If you did a whole page with them, you would seal them. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh, did I take my pencils downstairs with me? Oh, please don't tell me. I go back. Did I take my 2 pencils in my hand downstairs with me and leave them down there? Oh, good grief. All right, hang on. I did. All right, so the 2 colors I'm using are sky blue, and this gray color is cold gray, number 1. Those are the colors I'm using right now. So I'm going back to, I hope y'all don't hear me munching on peanuts, but I'm munching on peanuts. Can y'all see that little bit of glow around him? And I'd really probably, at the end, put some clouds floating across here. Mist with acrylic paint. We'll see. All right, so I'll have to blend this out a little better at the edges, but for now, I want to go back in here with the light blue now. Bye, Terry. Yeah, I'm going to stay for about 30 more minutes. So we'll see how far we get. So thank you for being here all day. Post pictures, Terry. So now I'm going on top of the light blue and making, see how that's working there? It's very smooth. The polys are very smooth. And I'm going to darken the edge of the wing right there and sharpen it up. Okay, Terry. I don't know what kind you have over there, Leah. What kind in Germany, right? what kind of acrylic paint you have. Any craft paint here is, uh-oh, I kind of went over, no, that's right. Any craft paint I've tried, you know, they're all fine for pencil, going over with pencil. Some, I just like Americana colors. Okay, see, I'm going to have to add more blue to this. And I want this to feather out more. I want this to blend from this gray to blue to black. Right now I'm just trying to get the glow around the little critter. And then I'll worry about blending out the background better later. Because I'm going to want it to blend out much nicer. But I want it to look like it's lit from the back, like the moon's behind him, so he's kind of lit from behind. And it'll take a few, blend outs to do that. And then right in here, well, I want white. Let's see. I think I'm just going to go with Prisma white. I want this star to be nice and bright here. I might even go in there with a Posca if it's not going to be bright enough. And see, I'm going to have stars and things in here too. But until I finish blending out the gray to the blue, let me just try to do a little section here. And I really kind of want a little bit of a yellow around. Let's just go with light chrome yellow around the moon. No, that's too yellow. Let's see, I need a little bit knocked back. Maybe, let's go with this yellow. This is cream. I'm going with cream, and I need to sharpen it because I've used this recently. It's my sharpener. Anyway, where's the sharpener? Really? My little bowl. Oh, there it is. Here we go. My little bowl of sharpeners. I use cheap ones, but they aren't really, oh, they're not matte. Yeah, gotta have matte, Leah. They have to be matte for sure. Yeah, that's better. It's a little less bright yellow. So let's just put a little glow around the moon. And I'm going to put a little glow around each of the, I haven't finished coloring them in, but there's going to, and that one will be darker. I'll get a darker yellow around there. But there's going to be a little glow around each one of these little balls that they're carrying, and the same thing for this one on the flower. So that's going to happen. But I will need to kind of smooth out the moon's a little crooked. So what I want to do here though on the blue is this goes more out into the open. Kind of go around some of the little fireflies. I'm not quite sure how I want to do that yet. A little trial and error here on the glow. Get a little more blue in there on top of the gray. It'll be all the way around. I want to see about blending this out real quick. So let me get black. Did I pull black? Oh, here it is. And what I'm going to want to do is try to make this so it's very blendy. The glow from the background to the glow is nice and smooth and blended. Is my plan. And it's going to take a while, so I'm not going to spend the whole hour just blending out the background. But then after that, what I want to do is take my white Posca and all those little dots found you on YouTube and your pics do all your, you have channel there to look at. Yes, I have 800 plus videos on my YouTube channel. If you go to my playlist, they're divided up into probably about 10 different playlists. Color books, altered books, mixed media, collage, book chat, paper arts when I do the cameo cutouts. So I have about 10, I think, playlists. So yeah, you can find it all there. And thanks everybody that watches, live or Memorex. Okay, so what I'll end up doing is this on the background. I don't want to get too close in yet because I'm not done blending, right? I just want to kind of let y'all see where it's going to head to with lots of little stars. Because I covered up all those little, whatever they are, pollen flakes, stars, whatever they were meant to be. And I'm making them different sizes. So you can see where that's going to go. Okay, that'll be the background, like that. Okay, I want to get into some more besides the background here. All right. Let's get out some oranges. I want, and I'll tell you all the names, a sienna and an orange. So probably a brown, maybe 3. Let me see. Brown. Let's see. All right, so these colors, let's start with these. This one is indigo red. The middle one here is terracotta, and this is scarlet red. Scarlet red always to me is a dark orange. It's not red to me. And that's true in this one and in Prisma. There's a YouTube video by DK Design showing swatching of the 55 pencils that are exact matches between Prismas and oh, can you, if you find that, Pacola, I can't go to it now. If you could post it, either email it to me or tweet it to me. That would be useful. That would be very useful. All right, so I'm going to start with the Indian red. And I'm going to start doing the darkest bits here. And I think I'm probably doing this backwards with, it doesn't matter so much with Prismacolor if you do light to dark or dark to light. But I'm thinking with polys, you need to do light to dark, kind of like watercolor. Because they don't blend, you have to layer. So, you know, I probably should be going light to dark, but I'm just wanting to get the nice dark right in with the stem, right there, right in with the stem and over the top of the color book lines. Yeah, I can't go to it here and I can't link it here, but thanks for doing it for the girls. Okay, so I'm going to do the darkest dark on the pumpkins. Something like that. See, that's going to be where the stem is, and I haven't done the green stem yet, or the olive. And I'm sure there's tons of videos on how to do them, how to blend or layer rather, the polys. I don't have time. I don't have time to go watch them. I barely have time to watch all you guys' videos. All the people I follow now to go research another, I'm going to have to do it by trial and error. I'll see what works, what doesn't. So y'all can learn with me with trial and error. Rather than, thanks, Pacola. Rather than, if you want to go find other ways to do polys, just go look it up. Because, I'm just now learning them. Oops, let me move that paper down a little so I don't have a ridge. And I'll probably do, and that needs to probably be black right in there. Let me just go ahead and, that would be painted in the background here. Okay, moving over. I'm still working with the sienna. Is it sienna? Indian red. Indian red for the shadows in the pumpkin. This will be the darkest part. They're nice and smooth. I really like the way they feel. The polys, they feel really nice. They're smooth. You feel like you're really laying down, some smoothness. Like going over the lines right here. I mean, it's just all practically one stroke, and you've covered up the line art. Which is, like here, like look here at these lines with the pumpkin indentations. I mean, just like look, one stroke, and it's like, bam, you got that. It lays down really nice. The thing I want to really do more is with learn them is with portraits. And again, just haven't had time. I keep saying that, but yeah. And I probably shouldn't have streamed today because I have 4 projects to finish this weekend. But I decided to hang out with you guys instead. So, yeah. Well, some days you just gotta hang with your buds. That's all there is to it. Work, work, work. Okay, I'm going to want a little more deeper shadow down here on the bottom of this one because he's kind of behind there. Okay, I do need to sharpen a little bit here. And I just use the big end on the sharpener. Here's the smaller size. There's one for the polys. It's going fine over the watercolor. Oh, well, thanks. Thanks, Kathy. And a little bit more shadow down in here next to the... Oh, and down here are these little berries. Remember I wanted to put blue highlights on them so they're not lost in the... A little darker right there. Missed a little bit of the black. Just so the little blueberries or whatever they are has a little bit of a glow to them. This one here too. I can darken it back up. I'll just put a little black right there. Okay, back to the Indian red. I could almost, in some of these shadows, use one shade darker in the brown. But we'll see. I'll just leave it like this for now. Just blend it out nice. Got dark again in here. Let's go back to the lighting. I can tell my skin is usually really pale, and when it gets really orange in here, it's like really, there, that's better. That orange is a little off. That's too yellow, but I know that happens, that's too dark. I know that happens sometimes on oranges and yellows. That yellow just looks almost neon on camera, but it's really the color of an orange. It's truly the true color of that is the color of a real orange. But there we go. That's a little better. There we go. Okay, let's keep shading here. So you have any questions or anything? We haven't really done a lot. I mean, everybody's been kind of quiet today, really. Maybe everybody's just working on something. I mean, for the most part, there's a few chatty Cathys. Is anybody reading anything interesting? That's the other thing. I got to still show you all that article. Need a sip of coffee too, so. You focused? You're working on page 2? Good. Okay, thanks. Yeah, Suzanne, you're working too. Leah. I'm not real zoomed. Sometimes I'm zoomed in really far. And then sometimes that makes me lose the focus, though. But it's really tough. You're still looking for your green polychromos pencil. Your May. Kitty, meow meow. You lost your May green polychromos pencil and you're still looking for it. All this time? Good grief, girl. Really? All this time you've been looking for it? It probably rolled off your desk or your table. It's probably on the floor, right where you work. Look right where you work or where you were working on it. It's probably rolled off. Do you have pets? If it rolled off and you have pets, and no telling. So we're getting there with the pumpkins. All right, I'm going to leave the pumpkins for a minute. Let's go over here to the little bucket. I'm going to get a darker gray blue, kind of, let's see, this color looks good. Let's try this one. I think I'm going to take the black, though, and put a little shadow under each of the little rivets. And I might put a white, what do you call it? Posca dot to make those little rivets stand out. With the little shadow under them. I don't think y'all can see much. I'm kind of far away. I don't know. Listen to me giggle. Well, y'all tickle me. Okay, wait. Let me go. I do need a darker gray. Okay, so let's go with this is warm gray 6, and this is warm gray 4. And what I'm going to do with them is just work on with the darker one. I'm just going to do the little metal bit. Like it would be, I don't know if it's pewter or what we'd have it be. Just a little bit of a shadow and maybe a little bit of like variation there. I like working and listening to people's stream too, so I get that. I mean, if I'm watching a live stream, Jean, Janet, whoever, I am working while I'm watching, so yeah, I miss a lot of chat, so I understand. If you're not chatty, that's fine, because I do the same thing. All right, now I'm going to take white here and just the tiniest bit of see on the little, can't get closer and it won't focus, so there we go. Okay, let's go to the wood. And let's just go with a wood color. This is, what color is this? Oh, this is violet. Oh, well, I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with a violet color. Dark violet on the wood. And I'm just doing the wood grain. And a little shading on the bucket, like underneath the rim. It doesn't look violet on here. I just picked it because it looked brown. Then under this, under the little band there, and under the little band there. And then just kind of break up the wood grain there. I want to do some different little bits because we're not going to finish it, right? We're not going to finish. But, oh, I got to do a little bit more on the bat. We're going to have to move on to the bat. I ordered this book, Lost Cities of the North and South America. That book is Lost Cities. Oh, yes. Let me know what you think of them, Suzanne. The ones I showed the other day, they're downstairs now by Oh, what's his name? Starts with a Childress. Childress. Awesome. Suzanne, I love reading about lost cities, archaeology, any of that stuff. All right, well, missed a little bit right there. Now what I want to do is I'm going to sharpen my Prisma white here. And I got more whites around here than I just, so I just pick up this little stub, I don't know, and just put in a little bit of extra grain, just a few little grain lines. And I could have done it with cream color too, but I wanted to kind of stand out. Go around that little knot, wood knot. Like that, and maybe right around the little, see, I'm not sure what I want to do the rings as, but there's the little bucket. Needs a little more dark on the edges. Almost could go with dark chocolate brown. Which brown do I want? What's the darkest one? This one maybe? Is this the darkest brown? Burnt umber, yeah. And do the edges a little darker. Like that. Just that little bit. The description, Amazon just sucked you in. I haven't read. See, I didn't buy them on Amazon. I bought them years ago, probably at Barnes and Noble or something, Suzanne. So I don't know what the Amazon description of the books say. Suzanne's talking about the two of the books I showed on ancient civilizations on Wednesday, Lost Cities of the North and South America. And then the other one was, what was the other one? Is that the two books, or there's another one on Central America? I forget. Anyway, I have more than two, but those are the two I brought up to show. Okay, let's go back up to the bat now. Okay, so now let me dig out a darker blue. What color? I want it like an indigo. I'm not used to the colors here. Dark indigo. Okay, so this is dark indigo. Now what I want to do is a nice crisp edge on the wing, because the glow will be the light. So I just want a nice crisp edge on the cartilage or whatever it is. See how that makes it stand out there? I want it nice and crisp. Like that. I'm really liking the polys. I just they have a total different feel for me anyway. I mean, maybe if you're not used to pencils all the time, you can't really say it's that different. It's way different for me. All right, so now I'm going to go in here on his little head. I'm going to pop out a few little hairs on his head. And then I'll just start blending with the indigo here. Some around his ears. And I'm not sure what I want the inside of his ears to be. Do I want them to be pink? Like translucent in there? I'm not sure. And then around the edge here. I'm not sure what I want the inside of his ears to be. Actually, North and Central America, not South America. Okay, I think there's one is Central America, the one I brought up, and the other one is, I think, North America, like Native America. I think. I don't remember the names of them now. Okay, so I'm going to put some little. I don't know. Bats aren't really hairy or furry, but a fruit bat might be. I'm making him look like he has like a little baby bird, how they have little hairs. I don't know. I'm just kind of doing them like that. And then also remember in the eyes, anything that's supposed to be really solid black, it never is really solid black. Like the ink is always a little bit on the gray side. So I always, especially eyes, um, go in there with black pencil or a black Sharpie pen. And then I'm going to go in here on the highlights on his eyes, make sure they're nice and bright. He's got a little heart nose. I might leave that white too, because he's got a little tongue though. Let's see. And then right in here in the key, I forgot to color that inside. All right, so now I'm just going to use the indigo to do a little bit of shading on top of the watercolor. Little fruit bat. I'll have to try to finish this up in a day or so Anne can see it. If y'all don't follow Anne Siggers, Siggers, A Colorful Life, she does a lot of coloring. She colors with a little everything. She shows budget-friendly markers, budget-friendly pencils. I'm going to get in here with the lighter brown on top of that little bit of that little piece of wood handle here. And I'm just going to kind of, just a little bit there. Maybe a tiny, I should say white. I should put a cream color, but I have white sitting there. Just a little bit lighter. Something like that. Okay, then there's a little bottom lip there. And she's really funny and she's fun. She's pretty new to YouTube and color, I don't know. I'd say less than a year. I don't really remember when she first started. But she's really fun. And so I wasn't going to color this fruit bat. What is that right there? Is that another bit of the handle? Not sure. I think I'm going to color it brown, thinking it might be. And she calls her peeps, like we call ours here, wing nuts. She calls hers fruit bats. So we're wing nuts over here and fruit bats over there. And I think I'm going to do little claws. His little feet here. I'm going to do his little toenails. I'm going to put little toenails. I could knock about. That one looks like it might be behind the rope there. With white Posca. Just because it looks cute. Yeah, I think that other one's behind. And I don't really know how furry they are, but maybe he's just cute and little. Like a baby bat, a baby fruit bat, or a young one. It turns out I had my May Green Polly the whole time. It's my Earth Green Polly I can't find. Oh my gosh. You were looking for Kitty Meow Meow. You were looking for the wrong color all that time. Yeah, and we're all fibs. Everybody, no matter if we're friends on YouTube, fibs is friends in the box. So wherever, everybody that's a friend online is a fib, a friend in the box. So yeah, no matter whose group you might be more a part of. Although we all, watch each other all the time, so I don't know if that matters. But okay, so I got a little bit of fuzz. I think I want to try the light blue here. Just kind of flick it in a little. See, it's hard to layer these. I mean, blend. Like I want to put more blue, light blue in there. If this was all done with Prisma, I could take this light blue and flick in. It's doing it a little bit, but it's not wanting to let me. It's not wanting to let me put another blend in there. It's just, they're just a little different. You just got to get used to what you can and can't do with each one. They don't want to blend. You have to layer. Layer with polys. Okay. It needs even lighter. See, I've got to get a little bit more glow around there or something because he's going to get lost. His little leg's going to get lost there if I don't glow him up. Got to give him a little more glow. And then I'll feather that out with blue. But you see what I'm saying? I have to have more light around him because he's going to get lost in the background if not careful. Okay, so I'll continue on that up later. More glow. I just don't want to spend the whole time just on the background. See, needs more. Okay. What if wanna be a friend in a triangle? A fit? Would that be a fit, Kitty? Are you having a fit? Okay, now back to the indigo again. And I want to do some in the wings here. But I'm gonna be very careful with my indigo. I just want to start blending it out or layering it up, whichever you want to call it. I want a little darker right up here inside where the points meet up here. I want that to be a little darker. Having a fit. Okay. Now, I'm not sure that this is the blue that I'm going to want. Maybe. See, I think maybe I should go light again. I got to remember to try to do light to dark, like watercolor. I got to think of polys as watercolor. Like you have to do light to dark in watercolor. Because it just wants to layer like that. I'm finding. And I don't know about those little flowers yet either. Probably just do those in indigo too. Or maybe orange. I don't know. Do I want those little flowers to be orange? Probably would stand out better. Okay, let's see here. I notice many color books here, she's in Germany, are just about mandalas or patterns. Yeah, that's popular for a lot of people. Where can I find the group? Sorry, I don't It's just we all hang out online, Doris, all over the place. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Ustream. We never leave. We are locked in the box. Just kidding. It's not quite. Well, it's not quite that bad, but yeah. Are you, Doris? Are you on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook? If you're not, that's fine. But I'm just saying, if you want to hang out and chat with people, we chat all over the net. So that's why we're friends in the box. The box is the computer. Whether it's your phone, your iPad, however you're here or anywhere online. You're a friend in the box. Oh, thanks, Wendy. Yeah, well, this is where the details come in, where you fiddle. You start playing with the details like this, and this is where it starts to look more, finished, if you will. But I keep wanting to blend these shades of blue, and they don't want to blend like Prismas. They just don't. It's just not the same. And it's not bad. It's just different. They're just different. Okay, I want the edge of his wing to not have a color book line. It's just it's a learning curve. When you've used one kind of pencil for decades, which is a wax based, and you go to a oil based pencil, it's different. Okay, so I just want a little bit of variation in the, I don't want them to look like just flat. I want them to have a little texture, if you will, and that's not the right word, but, just so they don't look flat. And I'll probably put a little bit of, maybe a tiny bit of white, and then I can always knock back the white with a layer of blue on top if it gets too white. But bat wings are kind of got a little, I don't want to say shimmer, not because they're not, I don't mean in sparkly. I mean like, the way reptiles and, they have that, it's batty. I don't know the word I'm looking for. So yeah, so we've gone from that to that, see? With just a little bit of areas not quite sharp enough. Yeah, Facebook. Okay, what's your name there? Kind of a translucence, but that's not the word I'm looking for, Button. Rubbery? I want these little hairs to kind of go not so perfect. So again, I'm trying to get the shadows up here in the points. A sheen, maybe a sheen. A little here, a little there. But I hope y'all enjoyed the day. I went a little long because y'all begged me to. Not really. We call it tricker-heading. You tricker-headed me. We tried to tricker-head Janet, but Janet said she wanted a break, so. Yeah, kind of like a leathery sheen. Yeah. It's like a thin leather. Ugly skin. Yes, Picola. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's ugly. But we're making him cute. But y'all get the idea. All right, I'm gonna take the blue now and kind of just layer over it. So I don't know how helpful my demos, don't call this a tutorial, my demo of polychromos has been, but I'm just learning them, so, don't email me. You're doing it all wrong. The more I'll use them, the more I'll figure it out. Okay, so real quick now, though, I want to let me get a little bit brighter orange and do these flowers. So let's just go ahead and first base coat them in orange. And I'll put the little centers in white, Posca. And then if it looks too white at the end of the day, I can just go back over it with orange. Almost want a little bit of a shadow under those, though. I think it needs it. Let's go back with the, let me sharpen up my paw. And you don't have to hardly ever, you just don't sharpen them very much. That's a thing. Bats have a claw at the end of the, yeah, that's what these little things are here and here. I'm thinking maybe this is just not claw enough there, like that. Is that what you mean, there? There's nothing else on these, on him. I mean, it's got a little point. It's a little pointy there, a little point, they're a little pointy there. I'm just going by what she has on her picture, sort of, I think. Yeah, there's a little bit of a point on this one. That one might have got a little lost in the shadow. Okay. And I just keep needing to, shadow, add more depth here and there. And I still haven't decided on there. Okay. Oh, I was going to put a little bit of shadow under these flowers. Like, I'm not sure if they're like stuck on his wings. They're floating. But they need a little depth behind them. At least on a side here. Like that. See the difference between that and that? Feel another sneeze coming on. I have my window open, so I'm sure there's stuff floating in the room from outside. But anyway, I've enjoyed the day. Hope y'all have too. It's already 3:30. Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go put those pork chops in the oven. So I guess I better head out. I'll try to finish this. If I don't, maybe I'll do it next week. I don't know. We'll see. But on his little stomach here, I want little flicks of tummy hairs. See his little tummy hairs? Okay. Yeah, I'm not really allergic to anything, but when stuff flies around outside, it's going to make you sneeze, whether you're allergic or not. Okay. And I'm thinking I want the little fireflies to have blue bodies. So let me just kind of pencil. I just want to kind of show you where they're heading. I'll add more, to them in a little after a while or next time. So if they have little blue bodies, but let me do one here. A little shadow of orange. Let's do the little eye. Where's my black Posca? The little eyes, nice and black. Oh, no, that's going to be too big. I'm going to need I still have to do my Inktober. So there, like that. I'll do that after dinner. And then a little bit of white, a little bit more glow. And then the white Posca, I'll do their little antennas. Let me pop those in real quick. And a little body, maybe a little something like that. Do I want a little, I think I'll just put a little, not touching, but like floating off, a little antenna. So something like that. See, he's got a little blue body, little antenna with a little dot at the end. Look at all my fingernails. That's horrible. So, and then he's got the little, they're holding these little glow balls. I don't think they're on their little butts. I think they're holding something, rather than being like, glow bugs, like with their little tails having the glow. It's more like they're holding some balls of light. Let's sharpen that up a little with the black pencil. See, aren't they cute? You like the tummy hairs? So I gotta finish this before the end of the month anyway. I have to at least do that for Miss Ann, the fruit bat. She's fruit bat mama. So yeah, so there we go, Ann. If you watch this, we got it kind of going on. Let me back up here, guys, so you can see. There we go. So you can see the kind of the whole thing there. It's coming along. And then the leaves, we didn't get much shading done on those either. Or highlighting. We didn't get much done on the little, whatever kind of leaves they are, autumn leaves. But yeah, it's a start. It's a chunk of it done. Thanks, guys. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm going to head out. We've been here all day again. But I enjoyed y'all's company and hanging out with you. It was nice to meet some of the newer people or see them again. Hello, Skilla. Nice to meet you. And of course, there's Wendy and a whole bunch of quite a few new people. Well, I've seen some people around, but some are new a lot here. And there's Corinne. I'm just going to look at who's kind of still hanging around. Krusty, Doris. Doris, make sure and send me your address. Kitty Meow Meow. There's Nancy. Hello, Sweet Pea, Tar Heel. Hey, Colleen, you old quiet one, you. Colleen's probably been sitting over there with Bandit at the bar all day. Have you been at the bar with Bandit all day, Colleen? Hi, Ronnie Sue. Anybody else I missed? Okay, guys. Y'all have a good afternoon and a good weekend, and I'll see you in the box. Bye.